Hey, what's going on everyone? Paul Mendez here, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, I found a video that caught my eye that I'm going to be reacting to, and it was titled A Day in the Life of a 25-Year-Old Entrepreneur. And a lot of times people think that the day in the life of someone who's successful or an entrepreneur is kind of what they hear or what they see on Instagram or they read through different statuses or quotes. But, a real entrepreneur and someone who's really having success, a lot of times their day looks a lot different than what people might think. So in this video, we're going to be reacting to it. So let's jump right in.
So my day is kind of opposite than everybody else's. My day starts around, midnight. I've just put my wife to sleep.
So right off the bat, we're automatically seeing that, his day is a lot different than most people's days, where he's saying he's starting his day at midnight. So I'm really interested to see kind of how this day plays out, because it's definitely different than immediately what I was expecting.
I'm with her, and then I come to the charts, and for this hour I focus on the pairs that I want to trade. I'll read up on a bunch of news and see what is supposed to come out today and how that's going to affect my trading for the day. And the entire hour is literally me just gauging the market, just looking around and reading as much as I can. I try to have a hard cutoff time and not try to be on the charts for 2-3 hours, because analysis paralysis is a real thing.
So I love what he says right there, how he kind of sets a hard stop time on his work. So for him, it looks like, he's a trader. So he's obviously trading some sort of market that isn't open during the normal time. So he's shifting his schedule. And as an entrepreneur, you have the freedom to do that. So he's shifting his schedule. It looks like he's working at night. And I automatically really liked what he said about setting that stop point, that hard stop where you're going to move to your next task, because he even brought it up, analysis paralysis, which is such a real thing. When you're looking at something for too long, you're trying to make too much different changes in one day, a lot of times you start to force things. So right off the bat, I really like how he kind of broke that down.
But after that hour, if I don't place a trade, I will set a bunch of alerts, and maybe later in the day, I usually place that trade.
Wow, look at that. It's a nice skyline.
I'm done analyzing everything. I try to close out and exit all of my tabs. And for those wondering, this is my account, 397,000. You click over, it just says live.
So there we go. We have the first little mini flex of the video. He's showing us an account. It looks like he said he had $300,000 in there. And I really like this transparency. I mean, he's showing us about his day, and in the title, he's putting millionaire. So he's kind of backing that up right now and showing that he is walking the walk. So I really like how he included that in there. So we know he's not just someone that's just doing this and creating a great looking video, but he's actually someone who is taking the actions that he is laying out.
For those thinking it's a fake MetaTrader, this is my MetaTrader live trade, boom, regular MT4 account. But neither here nor there. At that point, like I said, I try to exit out everything trading, and from this next hour, I try to answer as many comments as I can on my YouTube, on my Academy, and in my Discord.
Okay, so once again, now we're seeing some more different actions. This is exactly what kind of I was hoping we saw, was a realistic view of how when you're an entrepreneur, you're working on all of these different things. And the only way you can possibly get that all done in a day is by time blocking your schedule. So we can see he's doing that right away. He's working on the markets for the beginning part of his day, and now he's getting more into actually communicating, reacting to social media comments and content, and he's putting that work back out there because he knows it's going to come back in. So it's nice to see that, even at his level, being a millionaire, he's still putting in all of that effort to keep growing.
Spend a good hour. Sometimes I get carried away into 2 hours. People are awake at London session trading as well. So this is the time I take to talk to as many people as possible. My schedule changes as my goals change. The last day in the life of a millionaire, y'all saw me wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and now 5 months later, I am up throughout the entire night.
Wow. Okay. So he's saying that in the first video, part one, which we're watching part two, but in the first one, his day was completely different. So he said he woke up around 6:45 a.m. and now he's starting his day at midnight. So once again, as an entrepreneur, it gives you that flexibility to change your schedule if you want to, or to capitalize on a certain opportunity that might require you change your entire schedule. And with a 9 to 5, you really can't do that. You can't capitalize on opportunities. But as an entrepreneur, you have all the freedom to do that. And this is a great example of that so far.
Sleep from about 8 a.m. to probably 1 p.m. And I feel like I get so much work done when everybody is asleep, my phone isn't ringing and emails aren't coming in, and I can just do as much as I can for those 8 hours. And I'm pretty happy with my schedule right now. On this screen, I am focused on writing out the next Secure the Swag episode. So by the time Austin wakes up, he has a whole outline of what to do. And I don't do Secure the Swag every day. So usually every day, I will outline the next YouTube video to do, or the next Instagram video to do. So whenever Austin wakes up, he already has an idea on what's next.
Okay, so pausing that real quick. Don't want to pause it too many times, but I do like what he was saying there about how he's thinking one step ahead. He's getting all the members on his team ready. So when they get up, when they get into the office or wherever they're working, they already know exactly what they're going to do. You know, the boss laid out what they need to get done. And that's a couple signs of a successful entrepreneur, where they're not just thinking about themselves, but they're thinking about their team and how they can best help them so they can all become the most successful versions of themselves and create the most profitable business in the end.
Here, I'm talking to my people from the UK, Sean, Nat, Aaron, all the plans we have in mind, because obviously when it's, 2 o'clock in the morning here, it is 10 o'clock in the morning over there, and that's the only time we can really talk and be on a Zoom and plan our ideas together. And then on this screen, since I have like a hard cutoff time at like 5 or 6 because I'm spending time with my wife, or the shoot that Austin and I are doing is going, super late into the night, I try to take this time to answer all of their questions, so the next day they know everything that they're doing, and everything is a well-oiled machine. I literally read 2 to 3 hours every single day. That's not a joke. That's not me gassing. I literally read for a few hours every single day. And the perk of having money is that I can pay a lot of people to do all the menial tasks that I don't necessarily want to do, so that I have that time to read as much as I can and learn upon new information that will propel me to a whole different dimension 2-3 years from now when I want to execute certain new ideas.
So kind of like we were talking about just before, more of that flexibility of being an entrepreneur comes in when you get to delegate tasks. So if you don't want to work on menial tasks, or you want to outsource that, you have the ability to do that, and you can really control your day. So if you want to set time aside to read every day, which I highly suggest, great to see that he's doing that and that he's promoting that, and even touching on the cliche that a lot of people say they read, and they read a lot and all these books, but in reality, they're doing that just to come off as more knowledgeable. People that actually read every single day, they're obviously making a commitment because it takes time to read. And when you're an entrepreneur, you can outsource different tasks, which opens up your day.
How acquisition entrepreneurs outsmart the startup game. It talks about buying businesses as opposed to starting them. I read this book. This pandemic has taught me the importance of adjusting. And adjusting comes in the form of maximizing my time with my wife, maximizing my time, working out, and maximizing my time at work, most importantly. All right, I got Shark Tank on, and I usually like to watch Shark Tank while I work out because I like to, learn and utilize my brain 24/7. Like, I'm that type of nerd, I guess. But most importantly, I want to invest in startups in the near future, and I'm imagining myself as a shark looking at these entrepreneurs and thinking, would I invest in them or not? So I'm trying to get better and better day by day.
Okay, so a couple things I like to comment there. Firstly, obviously working out, it's awesome. Great to see that he's doing that early in the day after he got his shift in. And the other thing he touched on was kind of watching Shark Tank, watching something motivational, educational at the same time as he's working out. And that's a great tip for anyone out there that's, just trying to squeeze in more workouts in their day. Look at how you can also do another task, whether that's watching a show like he is, or an educational podcast, or reading a book, but try to not to multitask throughout your whole day, but when you're working out and you have the time to do something else to distract you, that's a great time to do that. Focus on adding more educational things to your day. And obviously you can see he's aligning that with where he wants to go. So he wants to buy startups. What is he doing? He's watching Shark Tank. He's reading books on that, and he's planning ahead. That's the theme I'm already seeing so far.
But I'm about to go get changed and work out, and right back. This pandemic caused me to realize that I really don't have time to go to the gym. You know, even when the world was wide open, I would always make excuses and be like, trading first, and business comes first. But now with, you know, the pandemic happening, we're all quarantining, it's been very essential for me to have my own home gym and home workout equipment so I can, you know, prioritize my health and get back to the shape that I was in when I was in college.
I have to disqualify myself because I know more about it. You say you're blown away by the response. Why don't you blow me away by your sales? We're working on that. We have a large... How did you come up with it?
We're both trained industrial designers.
I know it seems like entrepreneurs just work, but it's important for my mental health to, you know, take at least an hour or 45 minutes away to do something. And that something at this time is working out.
Yeah, so circling back to the working out, love how he's commenting on that it is so important that, you know, you never feel like you have time to do it. But with everything going on, a lot of people have found that you can do so much just at home in your living room, whether that's just on the floor with a couple dumbbells, with a bench. You can make it happen, and we're already seeing that a Millionaire Entrepreneur is doing the same thing. So it's great to see that the world is shifting and adapting where they need to, especially because your health is more important now than ever.
Alright, I'm about to eat breakfast right now. And y'all remember the last day in Life of a Millionaire when I had a private chef, fired him, found a better solution.
Wow.
And I have this company who makes me food every single night, and they deliver at around midnight. So I just had to open the door, put it in the refrigerator every single night. And they have it here: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and another snack. And they do it every single day. The best thing about it is they have a calendar on their website where I get to go and literally pick what I want to eat. So I'm literally picking what I want to eat based on the suggestions, and it's way better. All right, I'm eating breakfast right now. I have my protein here. I just worked out. I watched 2 episodes of Shark Tank. I've answered all my emails. I talked to my team. I talked to my team in the UK. I talked to my students. I looked at the market. I read 3 hours worth of books. And now I feel like I'm done. Turn the shades on real quick. And then after I finish eating, I'm gonna shower, get some sleep. Hopefully I can get 5 hours in, maybe 4. But once I wake up, I will finish off the rest of the day.
Okay, so now this is the first part in the video. I had to pause it just with a little bit of constructive criticism. Obviously, he's doing awesome, and that's great. He's making a lot of money. He's working. However, with the sleep department, I really think a couple of extra hours of sleep would really help him out. Obviously, he's probably working towards that, I would guess, but just getting 5 hours, even 6 hours, you're really not putting yourself in the best position to have the most success the next day, because you really need 7 hours. 8 hours is even better. Then everything after that's kind of a little bit of overkill, but you really want to shoot for 7-8 hours of sleep. And there's a great app I like to use. There's different sleep apps. You know, you can even just go online and search it, but it helps you wake up at a certain time. So you're waking up in between your sleep cycles. So whether that's just setting your alarm at a certain time or having the app actually wake you up, you know, it's really important. So that would be the only thing right now, the only criticism I have, just get a little bit more sleep.
By the time I wake up, my dog is already at daycare. He goes to daycare every single day. I head to my dungeon and turn the shades on, and then for the next 2 or 3 hours, I'm in a bunch of calls and a bunch of meetings over and over again, just trying to catch up with the world and see how my people are doing. Oh, I didn't do that yet, actually. Meetings range from taxes, business strategies, financial planning, location, just working for the next 2 hours. Oh geez, hang on.
We didn't even think to look at that at that point.
All right guys, I will email him right now. I'm gonna look it over. Thank you for that. I'm gonna go look over everything right this second. I also take this time to brainstorm new ideas on how to make the Academy better, whether it's more videos or new features. I'm always thinking on how to incorporate something small into the Academy. Around this time, it's time for Austin to come to the penthouse, and every single day we are either shooting something crazy or editing something we've already shot. All right guys, I just finished a few meetings and finished up this part of my day. So now Austin and I are about to get to shooting. Staples is lit up though. Must be a game on tonight. I'm ready to rock. The extent of creativity that Austin and I try to achieve is sickening because we don't have an archaic way of thinking. You know, we try to invent new ways to think outside the box. We try to, do things that others won't do, such as renting a $2,000 warehouse for a 2-minute Instagram clip and doing secure the swag stuff.
Being an entrepreneur, trading me on that just gave me more.
Like for me and Austin, like the bar is here and we always try to get it to here no matter what. I bet. I'm gonna get Velvet, okay? By the time Austin and I are done shooting content, Velvet should be home, so I spend some time with my son, take him downstairs for a walk, play around with him a little bit, and then after that, I try to help my wife with her brand, anything she needs help with, whether it's her YouTube TV show or just, ideas she has for the future. And then once all of that is done, it's a hard cutoff time, the entire team should be home, Velvet should be a little tired, and me and my wife spend undivided attention with each other.
So right there, that's awesome to see as well, where he's putting in that family time in his day after he's done working. I really like the way the video is structured. It doesn't start when he wakes up. It kind of starts in the middle of his day, which is the middle of the night. So it really kind of drags you in. And he's really just raising the bar here with his YouTube channel. Obviously, you can see all the work that's getting put in. His producers coming over every single day to work on new content. So it's definitely a lot of work. And I really like how the video is transparent. It shows that. And as an entrepreneur, you can see like how quick your day really can fly by, especially when you're focusing on every area, your work, your health, and your relationships. And you can definitely see that, and the success is paying off.
Once my wife goes to sleep, it's time for me to get up and go right back to the dungeon, close the shades, and I write out all of my goals for what I want to accomplish that upcoming day. And then I sit down, and then it's midnight, which means London session is starting, and I do the entire process all over again. Back to the dungeon. I hope you guys were able to see how much I maximize my time, and you guys may have expected a day in the life of a millionaire to be full of hopping on private planes and sipping on an alcoholic beverage in Hawaii and being on a laptop, and no, that's all Instagram, it's all fake. Like, for most entrepreneurs out there, including myself, we just work our faces off, and I hope you can too.
So overall, love how he touched on that at the end as well. It's not all just hopping on jets, being at the pool with your laptop. I mean, of course, that stuff is great when you go on vacation, but the day-to-day life of an entrepreneur that is successful, that's a millionaire, this is exactly kind of what I expected it to look like. I was hoping it looked like. And, I really encourage you, check out his channel. Now, let's hop into some of the comments and just see what other people are saying. All right, so, here he is right here. So he said, I appreciate you all for watching. This is a usual day for me, but one of my goals this year is to get more sleep. 5 hours is not healthy, but it's normal right now. Hopefully I can start to get 6 to 7. That's awesome. That's exactly what we said. That's the only critique I had in the video. Glad he really touched on that in the comments. Someone said, you got a big apartment when you can do laps in it. Yep. All right, guys, so this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We took a look at the day in the life of a 25-year-old millionaire. We reacted to it. We really didn't find too much to critique except the sleep thing, which he addressed in the comments, which is awesome. So if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. And subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Leave a comment, what you liked, what you didn't, what you want to see next. And until next time, my name is Paul Mendez with Profitable Freelancer, and I look forward to your success.